Hello everyone, Bashar here. So I have been absent for a little while. I was a little bit torn between Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4. As you can obviously see, I went for with Diablo 4, but Path of Exile 2 videos will be coming sometime in the future. So let's get to it. So guys, we have a new seasonal mechanic, we have a new class, we have a lot of new stuff, but in this video I want to talk to you about how the seasonal buffs work, and how you upgrade them and such. So as you progress your seasonal reputation, you will be unlocking 2 slots, right? So there is the first one is the Duriel one, the Helltide one. So we have 4 lesser evils, and the 4 lesser evils are all concerning, with something. So Duriel is in the Helltides. We have Asmodan in the world bosses. We have Andariel for the Undercity, and finally we have Belial in the pit. And so how does this go? So you grind the season reputation a little bit. Hadriel will give you the slots, right? And you will have a divine gift and a corrupted gift slot, right? So that can be a little bit confusing. That's why I'm doing this video, because I did get stuck on it for quite some time. Then I was finally able to understand it, and I thought I should share this with the guys, because just following the guides can sometimes leave you flat-footed. Why? Because you are, let's say, following a leveling guide, and a leveling guide suggests you that you do something, and you stick with it after you are done with the leveling, and it's actually wrong. You should be changing it after, but when you don't understand it, you kind of stick to it, right? And you lose value. So thing is, guys, with every boss there are 2 gifts associated with them, right? So for example, for Duriel, we have the essence of pain and the essence of scholar, and blah and blah and blah and blah, right? As you can see, 2 of mine are maxed. The pit and the Helltide one are maxed, and the world boss and the Undercity one are only level 2. I'm gonna get to it. So level 5, rank 5 is the highest rank that you can go with these divine gifts, and you get the progress on it by doing said activity, right? When you are in the Helltides, you can kill Duriel, right? That's gonna give you some progression, and the progression that you will get will depend on the difficulty, but also Pangs of Duriel, etc. There are some small gains for that gift as well. If you pay attention, you can see it when you are doing activity. It's going to say, very briefly, it's going to say +1 to essence of pain on your screen when you kill a Pang of Duriel, etc. And these are rather grindy. They take quite some time to rank. So guys, the main thing I want to talk to you about is the Purified and Corrupted, right? Because that is, I would say, very confusing. At least it was for me. So for those that do get confused by it, so you can have 1 Purified and 1 corrupted gift from the same boss, right? So for example, as you can see here, Essence of Pain is my divine gift, and Essence of Pain is my purified gift, and Essence of Scholar is my corrupted gift. So you can put the gift in either slot, right? That's up to you. And when you put it in the purified slot, whatever rewards are going to get doubled, and it's going to also gain some minor ability. As you can see, what it says for me is briefly gain maximum barrier after becoming injured every 20 seconds, right? So this one, and also the corrupted is grayed out here, but if it was in the corrupted slot, what it would have done is Pangs of Duriel ambush you more often and have a 100% to chance shatter your barriers of fortified life with their attacks, right? So if this was in the corrupted slot, that would have been active. And so for example, let me change this. As you can see, now the corrupted bonus of the Essence of Pain is active, and the divine bonus for the essence of scholar is active, because the essence the experience globes are only good for leveling and not very much so in the end game. So you obviously go for this because rewards doubled, and rewards include a legendary rune. This is pretty good, right? So yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want double experience globes and refilling healing potions, and the downside is not really that big a deal. So some of these are good for leveling, and some of these are good for the end game, right? So for example, this is gem fragments, royal gems, and it doesn't say there, but they can also drop grand gems, right? I don't know why it's not included. You can get grand gems. So just let me show you here. None of these are crafted, right? They just dropped the way they are for me, right? You can get ground stuff to drop from the things, right? So this season, gems are not a torture anymore. Take a look at this, guys. All of my gems are maxed out already, right? So there is that. So let's get back to it. So 20% armor. When you're playing a paladin, generally armor also translates to damage, with that nice keystone passive that you have. That would be this one. For example, it's for me 655% damage up right now. So let's get back to it. So this is a must do for a paladin, and your direct damage has a 10% chance to stun enemies. Yeah, I mean that doesn't even compare, right? So yeah, 20% armor. And this goes in every single location. This is not for world bosses only, so that's pretty good. The Andariel ones, for the Andariel ones, this one is better for leveling. 30% movement speed. This is beautiful. And if you are leveling for the first time, I would just not suggest using any corrupted gifts, or maybe just a little, because corrupted gifts, they can do nasty stuff when you're leveling. In the end game, the downside is not that big, but yeah. So obviously in the end game, you want more survivability, right? Movement speed, you can get it from somewhere else, but the increased resistances are a source of toughness. So yeah. So when you are doing some of the gifts, you are taking a look at the reward. When you are doing some of the gifts, you are taking a look at the downside or the upside, right? So for example, I definitely want to get a legendary rune, right? But they are very valuable. Even the worst ones are, I think, in the 100 million gold neighborhood. So yeah, that's pretty good. And finally, we have the pit bonus. This is, obviously insane. I suppose you can leave this one out when your glyphs are maxed out, right? And for those of you that are curious, so this gift gives you gold, and that excessive means it's actually better than what I expected from Blizzard. It's about 18 million gold. So it's not huge, but it's also not negligible, right? Because when you are farming the pit, I mean, if you are progressing, the runs are gonna take a long time, right? Upwards of 10 minutes. But when you are farming for glyph upgrades, your runs tend to be fast, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If you have a very fast and strong character, it can even go all the way down to 1 minute. And then when you spam the pit, that gold will actually amount to something serious over time. Obviously, this won't mean anything compared to trading, right? But some people, including myself, do not like trading much, and so I'd like to avoid it as long as I can, so that the amount of gold does help. So for example, this season I only traded for a few runes that would allow me to get the Air of Perdition, and yeah, that's it, right? And I was able to get it with the gold I have accrued myself. I had like 1.5 billion gold. I bought the Jaws, I bought the Quez, the Que runes, yeah, and that was it for me, right? I didn't have to trade multiple times on occasion. So yeah, that's about it, guys. So as I said, you got one purified slot and one corrupted slot, and whatever you put in the purified slot will double the reward and give you something extra, right? And the thing that you put in the corrupted slot will still give you the bonus, but it will also do something negative, right? So you can leave it blank if you want. Obviously, you shouldn't be leaving any purified slots blank because they don't do anything negative. But the corrupted ones, especially if you are leveling or freshly leveled, and the downside is actually becoming a problem for you, you can just leave it empty, right? You can just leave it blank, as you can see here. And yeah, I mean, during the course of the playing the game, these should be maxing out. This one should be depending on how much you are doing, world bosses, obviously, and this one will be depending on how much you do understay. I mean, I did a little bit of, tribute runs, and I did a few world bosses. That's about it, right? That's what I arrived at. And I'm suspecting these won't see, the max level by the end of the season because, I won't be doing too much of these activities. Maybe I'll do a few Asmodans to spend the thingies, but yeah. So that's about it, guys. I hope this was clarifying for those of you that didn't quite figure out what this is, because this is, extremely counterintuitive, right? It's not, for a long time, I just couldn't understand what was going on with the corrupted gift, if I could do both of them at the same time, blah, 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 right? So, yeah, if you have any further questions, obviously, feel free to ask, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.